who is a lady. So if you see our composition is 70 to 30, am I correct? So female more than the male, so it was intentional. It was intentional. And that's why for us here, we value the women more than the men, because they must do better than where we have put them. Again, I'll call on the representative of the ABG community to come to the high table. I don't know who that would be. I don't want to dictate for you. Come to the high table on this panel discussion. I don't know whether Bora is still here. They are representative on the high table, on the panel. Anybody from here? From Bora? No? The chairman of Ibadan South, is he here? Or the representative? Can you join them on the high table? On the panel? Is there anybody here, a youth, a woman who has a business that is running now, whether it's in agric or any other one, to share with us? A student's phone on their WhatsApp, most of the time is business WhatsApp number they have. And to me, they have a lot of businesses they are doing. Am I correct? So anybody to volunteer? Young woman, business woman, you can be a student, you can be secondary school, you can be university, you can be in the college. You want to come? Woman. Yeah, we'll be looking at the ways we can try to be we can empower women. This panel is going to discuss empowering women and youth in digital agriculture. Empowering women and youth in digital agriculture. That is what this panel is going to be discussing. And I want us to pay attention to it. The representative of the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Agriculture, I forgot to add when I was speaking in the morning that this college is in partnership with the Federal University of Agriculture. And so this college is running a degree program as we speak, courtesy of that university. My first call will be to the deputy coordinator, who is Shureli Paul. We are aware that as a nation in Africa, our women in agriculture is very critical. However, we also know that our tradition in Africa is also overwhelming. You are a young man, or younger than myself, so to say. I've not sure since about 30 years ago, am I correct? About 30 years ago that I knew him as a student and as a student leader. There are some places in this country in particular, if you come from that place, don't raise up your hand, that I know that every morning, the men will gather around kegs of palm and try to take that horse are from there, I don't need to come there. The one thing I know is this. I also know there are some places in this country that the women do not have ownership in terms of landed properties. I mean, on land, to farm, arable land. And therefore, they are forced to work for their husbands. It may not be you who are in council. I'm just talking about critical, very deep communities in Africa. And so the woman is seen to be a labor to the husband, more or less. He will go to the farm to do the work for the husband. If the husband has young food, I'm sure you begin to understand what I'm saying. The woman will be the one taking the children to the farm to go and clear the weeds on that farm. But the owner of that young field is the man. I don't know whether you can remember that or heard about it. So that happens. So the woman will only have opportunity to put baby on the young for herself when the owner or the ownership is actually the man. Mr. Deputy Coordinator, this barrier is not helping us in our program in this country. And therefore, I will ask a question. Can you guide us? Can you make any comments around how we can break this barrier to overcome gender gaps, particularly when we are looking towards digital equality? I don't have a voice on this, even if it is one word.
Thank you. Towards the College of Agriculture, Ibadan, and my coordinator for target humanity. And I gave the indulgence of the provost and things and issues here to mix some of my responses to for the benefit of our participants. The fact of the matter, as we have stated it, but we also imagining trend is that dynamic is changing. We are having women that are also not claiming but having ownership. Why? Because it is grounded in culture and in locations where we have traditional rulers who have some level of education and dynamism. They are allowing the liberation of women. And that word of liberation quotes. The fact is that we have a cultural background that did not really have women well represented. And thank God for democracy, civil rule, and some of the things associated with it. That is changing. Hence, the emphasis of a certain percentage of women participation in many key programs and position holding. In the national picture, we don't have that in practical yet. But it's getting better each year for those that are paying attention and taking the data. Each dispensation, the number of women in governance is changing. And that's the way to also transcending into the local level, where we are having women as chairmen of local government, supervising council. So that is helping transition from that cultural bias to women having a more sense of belonging and ownership in society. And of course, it's snowballing into what is happening in the homes and our production system, particularly our agriculture system. Now there are farms, and I mean farms, some people last year that are owned by women are called interests. Particularly more in even Oyo State where we are present. So it is changing, sir.
Thank you very much. The women, I didn't hear your voices. It's changing. They can be better. And that is why we are gathered here. Thank you for that highlight. We appreciate that direction. From the community, last week, I don't know whether it was a Friday, I think Friday, we went to greet them. While we were going, we met somebody who was very, very active. Very active. And once he introduced himself to us, we jumped out of our vehicle to join him. Very active, full of energy. And we said we wanted to see the chairman of the community, and he took us there without response. We have listened to some of our this morning, and all that we are looking at is how we can make agricultural production better. I saw on social media this morning where they were trying to put up a kind of a lecture, and they say, West Africa, what is happening to the weather, the climate in West Africa? You know, before we never have rain in December. We had rain in December this year, we had rain even last week in the battle. I don't know whether you are aware. And today, some of us woke up with cold. Little one or other one I saw father with his sweater because of the weather. You know, so things are really changing. I was talking about digital tools we listen to, and we are here. We don't really have the traditional to complete yet, and therefore the problems exist. So we want the chairman of Ada, represented by the CSO. What are the problems? What do you want the project and the college to do in this regard? Climate change, and climate change, and climate change. Thank you.
On behalf of the academic community and the staff and management of Federal College of Agriculture, FCB, and above all, our competent provost, Professor J.J. Atiku, we want to appreciate you and thank God for giving us a provost like you, who cares, who interacts with both big and small, poor and rich. In fact, we as a community of the campus, our joy, our cup runneth over now for having a competent provost like you. And we do realize that God will grant you everything you need beyond your comprehension to finish what you have started this present time in Jesus' name. So, though my chairman is not here, but I saw the need that he told us that all of us must be there, that this program is for the youth, especially the women. So, sir, to my own little experience, we appreciate all your efforts, especially for you to have insight of what our mothers are going through, because the child must belong mostly to the mother. So thank you for changing our status. So God will grant you the ability to do more in Jesus' name.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate your appreciation. And one thing we can tell you, that we mentioned when we came to your community, the institution usually established for the development of the community that is hosting it. And this that we are calling up to the Thank you. guy there. And it comes to my mind immediately as he's even crying and feeling hot here and going out. It's a concern for me. Ordinarily, we are not supposed to put that kind of a child in this world that is hot. Yeah, he has a right, child right, citizen's right. They won't do that in the US anymore. You know? Although our facility is not provided for us. This child at this level is supposed to sit in an air conditioned room. So we are sorry for him. But thinking about him or her, I don't know, and there's another woman there, another woman there. So looking at them, it means that those of us at this level have gone through and we are okay. We are very okay. We didn't complain. But for them, we shouldn't leave them to meet what we have gone through. And so in this regard, it means that there's a need for skilling, which we have brought to bear by sensitizing you. You know, this workshop is actually not supposed to stop in the classroom here or the lecture chair. We are supposed also to take you to the site and see what we are doing and how we can benefit from it. We'll get there. Because of our time constraint, it should have been 2 days or 3 days activity. But we felt that this is sensitization. Just these 2 hours is enough to just tell you that this is possible. The post-Vice Chancellor, my Vice Chancellor, skilling, especially women and youth, for digital farming access is very important. I want to invite you to speak to us on mentoring opportunities that will make us have a better new generation building the digital skills gap for women and youth in rural areas, especially giving specific examples of what you are doing in your university, if you can recall.
Thank you very much, Mr. Professor. My name coordinator, sir. I want to appreciate everybody here present. And talking about bridging the gap for digital involvement of the women in agriculture is part of the reasons why we are here today. And I'm very what we have discussed today about digital tools in agriculture. We can see that experience of farmers, but only to improve the performance in agriculture. And the specific example we discussed today is about fish farming. You know, they told us a lot of things about it, that we can have feed sensors that can alert or tell us when our fish are hungry so that we can provide food for them. So for women, like my DC has said, the deputy director, deputy director, that women are now involved in agriculture and the condition narrative has changed. So we believe in training, and which is what we are doing today. That women need training in knowing more about these digital appliances that they can apply to their farm and to improve agriculture in general. Like in my own university, we have a lot of things that we are involved in, smart agriculture, we have a lot of them, especially like myself, I'm a ruminant person, ruminant animal nutritionist. So there is a digital machine that we developed in our university, whereby you know ruminant animals, they feed around, they forage, they graze around. So there is this digital machine that we hang on the leg of the animal. Anywhere they go to, you can monitor them. So it's part of it. And for women in agriculture, like I said, we need training because there are some digital machines, the apps that they can use. And for example, the one that we are familiar with is the WhatsApp. We can market our products on WhatsApp. Like someone said during our last presentation here, that the middlemen, they take much of this profits. So we can connect to our customers directly from maybe WhatsApp or Facebook or all these online apps. So it will really help us. Because there is no way we can do away with women in agriculture. We need women. And in fact, they are forming the larger population now in agriculture. I want to cite one example. When I was serving in Plateau State, we have a lot of women. Their population, most women are involved in agriculture. You see their men, I'm sorry to say, you see them early in the morning taking bubu too. So, is there women that go to farm, and I begin to wonder that what kind of life is this? You see them packing their baby and they are still working on the farm. So if we continue with this kind of training, we're writing the memoir, we make agriculture easier for them to practice. Like this digital of the things, when our fishes alert us that they are hungry and we quickly respond to that will improve their growth and some other things that we can do which we have been taught. Thank you very much.
That one is not enough. That's my business. That is the vice chancellor. He has to approve for me to bring this part of the work here. So please, another round of applause for the yeah, finally, while the order of the table which will speak next, I leave that for them, let them keep sleeping. But if you look at the banner on the board, it shows that, as I mentioned this morning, it's a collaboration. MasterCard is funding, there is Root Forum, connecting universities in Africa to develop what they call Target 2.0, and we are here for the university as a partner and extending an invitation to the Federal College of Agriculture as a GSC. Now, in all of this, policy comes up. And our third speaker spoke and got to a point of talking about policy framework. Now, my invitation to the panelists at this point is that, yes, we have been hearing, we have updated ourselves, much more than what we have really presented because of time. But then, what is the way forward? What is the way forward in terms of what the people want? There's what they call bottom-up and top-down in policy development. And therefore, which is better? For us, this project is transformative agriculture, transformative education. And when you say transformative education, you are saying that it is not the traditional education. It's not the traditional education. We are going to the level of university development that is 4.0. From 1.0 where, you look at lecturers and teachers in the university dealing with only teaching and research at the rudimentary level. Teaching students that, this is all that exists in the world. And so take it. And as the student takes it, they go home. At the time in the country that work was not a problem. And I can recall, while I was in secondary school, my uncle finished from the university, ABU Zaria, and came home. Then he went for NYC. And then when he finished NYC, he came home. And then we saw him off. He said he was going to remember what we don't know. For us, because we are young secondary school guys. But we're happy that we have our uncle who are finished from the university. And a big man like that, for us to work with someone who has graduated from the university. So holding his bag alone was something prestigious. We have to do that to show ourselves that we have an uncle that are part of the community. So while we did that, we went to the motor park and we went to The next thing he told us that he has chosen the work in Makori. I don't know whether you have, he chose the work in Makori. Not that he went to do an interview, he chose the work in Makori. We say, oh, how did you do it? He said, no, he went to the ministry he wanted to work in. He read over and went up and I wish if it's online, you hear. You know, he's retired. And he went to the ministry. And all he did was to look at the list of vacancies. I.e., did this and that. So you choose what you want. And he chose the one he wanted. And they gave him his office. And he went there to do that. So that was that time. Work was calling people to come and serve. Not now that you have to look for job. So anytime you are there, you are sure to get a job. You just go to the other place and pick the job you want. And they open the office for you to go and serve. But today it's not the same thing. Today you get the certificate, you keep waiting and keep waiting and keep waiting and keep searching. You know, to the extent that you even see a lot of graduates driving on cars. You know. So we are saying 4.0 is like, oh, you are not training somebody from the college or somebody from the university who will go and start looking for job. You are creating somebody who can be creative, a mindset that I can do it and I will do it. I can have my business, I can employ myself. That mindset is what we are talking about. And therefore, I want to ask, are women on the table? Any of you can speak at this point. What will you advise us and government in terms of the policy that can drive this transformative education? What can you advise us that will help us in this new mindset? That don't do just a purpose of getting a training. Go to school and skill up such that as you are leaving school, you have something to do. Any of you can talk to this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sam. Yes. You gave a very valid illustration that it is not ideal that after spending 4 years, 5 years under normal circumstances, and then after graduation, you start looking for a job up and down. So, I believe that, okay, let me talk from the gender perspective. One, especially in the rural area where women have limited access to education, that should be speak out. Women should be given equal rights with men. Gone are the days where women attend primary schools or secondary schools and then drop out, get married and start bearing children. So I believe that for government to empower women to be able to stand on their own without looking for jobs up and down, they should be access to education. Also, government should also build more schools in the rural area. I'm sure if we ask our youth if they would like to study in the rural area, if they would like to go to school in the rural area, majority of people will say no. Why? It is poorly equipped. So I believe as part of government intervention, schools in rural area should be adequately, equipped with good teachers, well-trained teachers. This will attract youth. This will attract women to go to school. And I believe that there should be sensitization for parents. Parents should be oriented about the importance of sending their girl child to school. In the urban area, it is less of a problem compared to the rural area. So we are talking about rural development. So it is very important that parents too should be oriented about the importance of sending their girl child to school in order for them to be able to stand on their own, be empowered. There is this saying that if you empower a woman, a community is empowered. That is my take for now. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I want you to clap for that lady again. He is my colleague from the university, from the Federal University of Agriculture. But I'm proud to say that our father taught Professor Abiola. And so anytime she's speaking, I see her father. Yeah, okay, somebody wants to say something?
Yes, sir. In addition to what she has said, you said that after school, after spending 4 or 5 years in school, that are they going to be looking for job up and down? I want to say that government can make agriculture attractive to these graduates, especially maybe those in rural areas. They can provide. There are some rural areas that they don't have internet access. We have been talking about digital tools in agriculture and all that. Some of these digital tools, they need internet to power them. For instance, if you have a farm in a rural area and you want to monitor what is going on your farm, and someone suggested CCTV camera. You know, for CCTV camera to work effectively well, it needs maybe a SIM card, internet, so they can extend that to rural areas. And apart from that, we've been talking about maybe fixed sensor and some other tools, digital tools that can be used that will make agriculture attractive to these graduates. They are expensive. So government can come in that regard, to help or to sponsor, get these tools ready for young people so that it will make agriculture attractive. And apart from that, we are going beyond the era of grain-fed agriculture. If we really want to practice this agriculture and we want our youth to join, in this phase of, increasing food production, we also need maybe irrigation facilities. And we know individuals cannot, go for this. So government can come in these areas to make agriculture attractive to our youth. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think on this note I'll draw the curtain on this panel. I'd like you to still have another panel if you're not tired. But if you are, we will take another direction. But then I think I want to believe you are enjoying it. And I want to ask, does anybody have any questions for the panel? Okay. Actually, American question. This is the only college in Nigeria that has a department of finance.
Thank you. I would like to ask this question. Based on an assessment today, I have observed that the focus of this body is on empowerment and then to empower youths and women generally. But the question I would like to ask is this: is there any part of the plans of this organization? Is there a room for expansion? Expansion in the area of maybe you add more crops, not only rice, and again more animals, not only fish, so that at least we can reach out to more people simultaneously. That is one. Then the second question is about, I think the other time Provost was talking about the fact that agriculture is better than medicine or being a doctor. Being an agriculturalist, being a doctor. Yeah, I remember vividly that I think the wife of the past president of this nation, Miriam Babangida, facilitated the special pay for those in health sectors in this nation. So why can't this a body like this, and then we encourage other bodies to speak up for people in agriculture also. And then that we encourage youth as an incentive to come into crop production or farming in Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Let me get.
Sure. Can I have you?
My name is Raji Aki. I'm from the Southwest Local Government. I just want to buttress the point you made the other time that agriculture is better than medicine. It happens to be my last guide. When he brought to write his job, he said that I want to study medicine and surgery. I said no. He said why? And this boy is brilliant. I said I'm having a lot of facility for agriculture. Who wants do you want him to take over the facilities? They agreed. I have to look at what can be between agriculture and medicine. I have to choose microbiology. Sorry. So it's not studying microbiology at the lab. It's not in final year student. When he came home for Christmas, he now called me, Daddy, what about your pen? That is poultry pen. I said it here, but somebody is occupied. He said, after the person is expired, I should not give it out to him. I said, why? He said, I want to have this poultry. I also asked about the rabbitry, because he knew that I used rabbitry to breed them up. So there are a lot of money on agriculture. We may just be thinking white collar job, putting on tie, even you can put on better tie when you study agriculture. I am proud of it. Like what one woman said the other time, he said, women in agriculture. We are just realizing that women are even better in agriculture than men. Like what I said the other time. All over the world, especially Agri International, they prefer to empower women than men. They believe women are the left behind. But this time around, though we are not talking of equal gender, so you women should be thinking, I should be right with my husband. No, that is not what we are talking about. So, sir, I'm in support of what we are doing today, and I would like you to involve more youths into this agriculture. I'm having a farmland at Idija along the Ruwa Road. There is a farmland there, it's about 6,500 hectares. Westport, free of using machines. Those people don't know that far. She tried to do something last time. She gave one acre to each youth, about 1,000 youths. They cultivated the farm, they make good money out of it. It's now using youth totally this time around. The other time we mix it with the big people, now for them to receive some training through that program. Sir, I would like you to extend your program here and there. God bless you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sorry from the Southwest Province. I want to appreciate the provost again and the panelists over there. The question is this, sir, we participants, we can always speculate, but directly, sir, I want to ask you a question. As the federal government, have you seen the signs that actually what I asked for them that will make it to be realistic? Actually, I'm going to do, have you seen the sign? Because the government policy is very important for the reality of what we are saying. The government.
Great farmer, no farmer, my name is Aaron from Southwest. To me, in Nigeria, we like theory. Theory ends in classroom. Practical aspect of Nigeria, talk of everything. Engineering, electrical, talk of everything, it ends in the classroom. And that's in the school. Our natural education laws, principle of cool, a refrigerator. Toward the end of that lecture, he excused us. He went to a man and came back to the class. He said, student, my fridge is faulty at home. I is now calling a technician. That is clear for you. My question is this. You need to do a research in the village among the women and the youth. When people are saying you to come to agriculture and laugh, go and do your research. What the percentage of youth in family? Whenever they enter the first year, assembly at the London way, we don't see them again, man. Okay? Do a research. What is driving away the women and the youth from the farm? The simple question, the simple answer, number one, empowerment and marketing. And if you don't see the introduction, some years ago, we can't cassava to that later. After saying, there was a farmer, he took along his wife. I'm very sorry, women love money. He said, of that, I will say, grandma to me. That's what happens. He said, my wife, she refused to go to shop to the north and to say cassava. He said, let's go. When I'm going Baba, batch by batch, madam, collect the money. And then God says, Oga, the fight inside the market. You know this why? The woman has budgeted a lot of things. School bag, this and this. My people, at the end of the day, after remove the transport, only transport cost, not the family input. The money you pay, another guy, he said, what to establish himself, they want to go after selling, pay people to put the cassava, pay the transport. One of the I said, lie, go to family again. My wife also never support because there's nothing here. Now, a way out of this. The small market, go to Ori, go to Iglai. Now, if you go to the market, you cry for a farmer. 2 years ago, I went planting to market 11 bush. Before I go to 30,000 naira, I said, like, I'm not selling I will carry home to do cassava flour. Now, that little market, it must be a little company industry. When farmers produce tomato, let us bring it to tomato paste. Little, that's the encouragement that to sell cassava too. Government should be able to buy from the farmer, then sell it at a profitable price. Without that, you do not observe government.
Thank you very much.
I want to come to the panelists and the team. Just make it right. Yes, very good. You are talking about women. There was a statement that men and women cannot equal. And if you insist on that, you know, the program will not go. Because once you cross Niger and get to Cape, you hardly see your women outside. But look at what we're talking about fish farming. You can organize those women into clusters. You can have people going in to train them, then educating them. Once you empower the women, you are empowering the whole family. The way men spend is different from the way men spend. I just want you to. So it's because developers are localizing idea for a holistic human development. So I don't want us to approach from the Western point of view. There is always a resistance, either culturally or from the society. That's what I want to just draw out.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I think we'll break here. The human team want to leave, and I also want to leave that.
Thank you, sir. Now, thank you for your questions. That indicated that you are attentive to us. Now, the first question of clarification was the fact that the need for the factor to continue to expand the enterprises beyond rice and fish and integrated rice and food system. Now, TAGDEF 2.0 involve 12 universities across Africa. I'm sure the provost in his opening remark will have provided information that FUNAM is only partnering with University of Port Harcourt that Tuforum awarded as a partner as part of the 12 universities. Now, each of those 12 universities across Sub-Saharan Africa have their mandate sector in agriculture, but to be along the agricultural value chain. So what we have in Nigeria, led by University of Port Harcourt, is the rice fish value chain. And so we are limited and will not be able to expand into other enterprises. On professionalism in agriculture, thank God the Provost Federal College of Agriculture Abeokuta, is a member of ADA, and I know there are other platforms that exist in the country that are representing agriculture at the national and international level. Part of the problem is we, the practitioners, and also our cultural background that feels that we practice agriculture by default, and because of that, everybody is a professional in agriculture. That's part of it. Presently, there are regulations in some sectors that professionalizes this specialization in agriculture. But in practical terms, it's not working because of our body language and our disposition. Then, involvement of more youths, particularly for that TAGNEF 2.0, the emphasis is on persons less than 35 years old. And more importantly, 70% of our participants or target audience should be women, people who are specially abled, and people who are classified as internally displaced persons. That is the focus of the people we are supposed to reach with that TAGNEF 2.0 in Nigeria and all over Sub-Saharan Africa. Now, the addition is the fact that this, what we are having, that's why it's a sensitization workshop, is the beginning. What we are having here in Southwest is being done in the North, represented by Federal University of Technology, Mina. It's done in the East by Nnamdi Azikiwe University. And of course, the University of Port Harcourt, not just coordinating, they're also mobilizing in the South-South. The emphasis is not just what we are doing today. It's not just talking English, because somebody was talking about theory based. The emphasis at the end of the, in fact, it's not, TAGNEF is not even research based. The target of TAGNEF is empowerment, particularly for those classes of people. But the fact is, each partner has a component to implement. And one of my key take-home today from here, even though I missed a lot of a major part of the presentation, was the digitalization that was presented. Because our mandate in Southwest, led by FUNAB, is to digitalize agriculture, particularly the rice fish value chain. And the emphasis on that is because we agree unanimously that agriculture is broadly driven, and we are supposed to evolve for technology that will make us transit from broadly into emerging tools that will make our practices easy and improve efficiency of our production. Because it's from improving the efficiency of our production, vis-a-vis the inputs, that we can have and more yield and more profit that will improve livelihood. Then the federal government commitment and policies. Well, that's beyond the TAGNEF. I don't know, maybe Professor Abibu will respond to that. Then the theory-based or centered stuff. Well, like I said, we are beginning. We will move, this project will move from theory, evolve into practicalities that will help us do better agriculture. Yes, it's a percentage of youth in farming is low. That is also because of the country. And of course, coupled with the fact that the environment doesn't provide what youth desire. Like it has been said here, there is no power supply, no internet facilities, all those support infrastructure don't exist. And what the TAGNEF 2.0 program is all about is that as somebody practicing, you'll be able to stand on your own with minimal infrastructure. We will not decline or deny the fact that the environment you are working will have some impact on you. that the environment, but what we are seeing in that level is the empowerment to be such that you have a leverage with what you have from the program to do better and improve your livelihood. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Let's know you from you.
My name is Dani Salasa. I'm one of the treasurer from Ada Baby community. I'm also a business.
Clap for her. It's only
All what you have done for us, sir, this afternoon. The question is that as a business owner, how can we benefit? How can the production of the foodstuff be producing here so that we, the business owner, can benefit come instead of going to market or Omiadio to Kila to buy goods? How can we get it here? That is what we are asking you to help us improve on this issue. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that is a topic. Lot of them. How can they get to here? That is why we call them the problem, so that we can give them how we can get them to use here. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a wonderful one. Dr. Shuremi stands for me all the time at the university coordinating this project. And I want to especially appreciate you again. He arrived here, we didn't see banner. So he went straight to the town to produce this banner right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's been a good day. In addition to what he has said, I want to quickly just say a few things. Daddy, thank you for confirming that agriculture is the best. Daddy, thank you for confirming agriculture is the best. And thank you for leading your son very well. Yeah, it's a good one. They say you should train the child the way it should go. Am I correct? Yes. So it's a good one, sir. Thank you. We are proud of you. You know, I mentioned it, I'm biased because we left what is good to do what is not good. And that is why we have problem. And I'm saying this because most of us carry drugs in our bags. Most of us will have to go and swallow paracetamol when we get to the day. Most of us will rely more on our medicine, i.e., we are eating medicine as if we are food. When indeed we are supposed to eat food as if they are medicine. And this to me is better. You know, we should move away from taking drugs, medicine, and eat more better food that will keep us healthy. And that way, it keeps us away from the hospital. Sincerely speaking, I've not been to the hospital to lie down for any injection or anything for more than 5 years. So I felt I have to eat well. I should take care of myself by taking organic food. And so I get well. And when you see me standing with my junior brother, they say, are you senior to this man? Because I eat better food than they are eating. And that is organic food. Sincerely, what this project focuses on is we want to end with having people, young adults, having what we call dignified and fulfilling jobs. I don't know whether you heard me. Dignified and fulfilling jobs. See, people want to go to the bank to work there because they feel that they have more money and they say, I am a banker. You know, that's enough. Even when he's in debt, he's a banker. And so the young lady wants to marry a banker. And not the farmer that would have been richer than the banker. You know, the farmer takes his money to the bank anyway, and the banker is banking the farmer's back their money. But people seem not to understand it that way. And we're saying that enough is enough. That's the point we are raising here. Enough is enough. Where you think that agriculture or people in agriculture are poor people. When you think that people in agriculture, I think mommy, she was sitting, that's why I didn't tell her to come out, to come and talk herself. When we think that people that come to study agriculture are people that can't make progress anywhere anymore. This morning we had a matriculation ceremony for our part-time students. and we announced there that we had a student that have an aggregate UTME 296. That gives that person mercy. But he came here. It's our student. You know, and they always say, oh, for choosing to come to us as high as you are, we are going to fund your education here. And it's scholarship. And we are doing that because we want that student to feel that, look, I'm very important. More than the person who went to read medicine. Now, there was a time in this country too, I can tell you, this college was chosen more than medicine because people refused to go for medicine and came to this college because government was providing stipends for them. They were paid while they were being trained. Government paid them for training them. And that is what we are trying to drive. I would say transformative. Transformative means that we are not doing it the old way. Mr. Adesonya from my college here mentioned that we are bringing Western idea. It's not Western idea. The same thing they told me many years ago, 2005. My colleagues in the university who taught me, you know, he said, you are going to bring organic agriculture from UK. What is all about this? You mean that what they are doing there is what you want to... We say no, it's not about a Western something. It's not Western idea. This is about science. This is about equality. And whether you like it or not, you cannot continue in that old traditional mindset. We're discussing this somewhere, and somebody from Uganda said, oh, you want our women to be equal to us? Oh, there's going to be a problem in this world. And we say, no, it is not true. Where is Okonjo Iweala today? Which Nigerian man can stand close to her? He's a woman. And you can continue to call them. And the truth remains that if it is a Western world and they are developing better than us, then why are we keeping our traditional things? The women are not any person less than us. And we stand with that. I'm gender biased. We stand with that the women are equal to us. Are you the one that created them? Did you create them? So why do they are lower than you? They are not lower than us. So we must have that perception that the world can change, and the world in this will change. And that is what we are driving. We don't have apology to anybody because it's a project we believe in, that those who are helping us today should not be brought down. So having dignified and fulfilling job is what we are all out for. And that is why we said, I'm sorry we have engineers here, that if you are doing crop production agronomy, this rice thing they are doing, I would say bring digitalization into it such that what makes medicine very attractive? The tools they are using. It's just the tools they are using. And we say that yes, we can also make our own tools very fascinating, even much better than them. You know? So rather than say carry hold and cutlass, I tell my students, I'm in plant pathology, I'm in crop protection. Okay, maybe to make it lighter for those who may not understand. I'm a plant doctor. You do get that? I'm a plant doctor. We have one of our guys who's a plant doctor. I don't know whether our guy is there. It's gone out? Yeah, I'm a plant doctor. And what I tell people as a plant doctor is that I'm a better doctor than the human doctor. Do you know why? Because if I take care of my plants to make them more healthy, the medicine that you are taking are coming from plants essentially. So I'm contributing to even the human medicine more than the person who is there. And therefore, I would rather tell my students, when you are going to the farm, for me, under me as a plant doctor, don't wear brown or green coat and come to the farm. You are underrating that sector of discipline. If a medical doctor goes to the theater or goes to the clinic and is wearing a white, it doesn't matter whether it's stained with blood. Why should that matter? Why should I care whether mine is stained with sand? So I want to I want to leave that mindset that I shouldn't carry a dirty cloth and say because I'm going to the farm. Yeah, I should look prestigious as an agriculturist. I shouldn't look down on myself. So and that is what we are saying. If an engineer carries very sophisticated tools to do their up and down thing, then I should tell my students who are doing crop to do those kind of engineering tools they are using. So let me train my students with dignified and fulfilling tools that make them want to go to that business. So that is the mindset we are trying to bring. And remember, this is year 2. We started last year, and we have year 10 to go to. So we are still far. So as we are sensitizing you to talk to us, and you are talking to us, says, come on, can't take us and make us equal to our women. And we say, no, that's your mindset. Change it. So we are taking it, we are pulling your ideas. But again, we're also selling our ideas. Then the next, as you mentioned, we are going to profile the farmers. When we are profiling farmers, those of you that are over the age of 35 will not put you there again. Because we are at that point that we are looking at the young people and women. So that we profile. And then we now come with a better training. This is just sensitization to say this is what is coming. I don't know whether we're forever. So any sign from government, I don't need to wait for any sign from government. If I wait for any sign from government, I can wait till tomorrow. But the fact is that I can talk to government to change their mindset. And that is why we call it transformative education. We are drawing their attention. I would say policy. The local government chairman was represented, that is policy. We're going to bring people from education, they are here, it's policy. So we'll get there. And when we get there, we'll talk about it. One thing and one day something will change. For instance, people carry naphtha sprayer and spraying poo. Who does that now in the distance? There's something they call smart agriculture, smart soil. You can just put your this in and you see what is inside the soil, the nutrients that are there. You know what crop to bring in there. As much as the woman can be put under the scan. Before, Daddy, sorry sir, at your own time, that time, when I want to believe you don't have scan like that. So you just be waiting, or mommy will be buying whether it is woman or whether it is man or woman, until the child comes. But today, the young women know what the person they are going to born, because they can see that through the scan. And so rather than buying any kind of clothes, they buy the specific one for the boy that is coming or the girl that is coming. And so we can also pick the soil like that. So that's the improvement that are coming as tools that are available to us to use now. So this is science, and it means that we'll keep going and encouraging the young people. Yes, we will. And that is what we are doing. And that is what I said. Next, we are focusing on them to make them better. Daddy talked about research among women to determine why they are running away from the farm market and all of that. There's part research in this program, and certainly we will do that. But we know why they are, and you mentioned part of it. But then, women are very kind people. I'm a man, sir, and I think we should also take responsibility. If you go to the market with your wife to sell something, and they say, bring it, let's buy something, the woman is right, she should buy something. If he has to use the whole money to buy the thing, give it to her to buy the thing. Is it for her? It's for the family, for goodness sake. Thank you.
The end of a thing is always better than the beginning thereof.
Yeah, they say something we forgot. They Yeah, I thought I answered it. Yeah, he said, how will they benefit in undergraduate? Yes, that is why we are here. We are here to scale you. We have told you how you can do it. First and foremost, the college has a production site, and the college has, of course, the college is supposed to produce for the community. And through this, well, this is fish, and we will discuss scaling up to that level. But the truth remains that, like I mentioned earlier on, I thought that we will end this work, this sensitization, by going to the site where those in fisheries will tell us they have something that the women can take for processing. Am I correct? Yeah, we have something the women can take for processing. And so we have something available for the community, even as we speak. And they are always welcome, and we will continue to facilitate that. Thank you.
Before Dr. Shidamana will come forward for the closing remarks, on behalf of the college, I want to thank the team from FUNAB, Federal University of Agriculture, Purita, and FCIB, all the staff here, the management and staff, TACDEF, Investor of Penacot, Ruforum, and Mastercard Foundation. Thank you all for making this possible for all of us. And on behalf of the organizers of this laudable training program and the provost of the Federal College of Agriculture, Ibadan, we appreciate all the supporters for all the support that this program has received. All the farmers in house, thank you for coming. All the invited guests, thank you so much for coming and for being part of this auspicious program. And everyone present here, young and old, thank you very much. Especially all the women in the house, and biased too.
Yes.
Thank you all, and God bless you. So we hope that we have this kind of program by the grace of God again and again and again. And I want to call on Dr. Shodamola. Let's appreciate her. She has played a very wonderful role in making sure that this event took place today. So she's going to give the closing remarks. After she must have done that, we will stand up to read the last stanza of the national anthem. It will be for the closing, then we do the pledge, and we can go home after that.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you enjoy yourself. Tomorrow again to continue to stay. 6, 7. Are we tired? Okay, thank you for coming. See you some other time. Nobody will come back to me since you're tired. Please, thank you very much for coming. I really want to appreciate us for our time, for being opposing so that we are ready to feed our nation. And women, we are on top of the situation. Don't worry, the men are always the actors. So thank you very much. I'm supposed to take a training on marketing and how you're supposed to keep your money, how to get money from the bank, loan. Let me just give us an example. Now that we're sitting there, do you know that this is the marketplace? This is the market. All we need to do now is just take this phone number, create a WhatsApp group, then you can send whatever it is that you're selling on that group, and people will start buying from you. So it's very important because after all that you are putting into farming, into all, and someone who just buy from you, you know that people that buy from the farmer directly, they are the one making more money. And because of this, we want to encourage all that after putting our efforts into farming, we should try to showcase whatever it is that you're selling. Now you can sell your product on Facebook. Tell your children to create Facebook account for you. So that you can showcase whatever it is that you're selling, and people will come, your farm produce, people will come to buy from you. And I pray that God will continue to strengthen you. On this note, I really want to thank my provost, all the management team, HOD, the directors, the house, the community, the adults. Thank you all for coming. God will continue to increase you. Now we will start off with the national anthem, there's the college anthem, and we'll close. But before we do that, 1 minute before we do that, so that there won't be any question of against it and all the against, you have to understand. You know we all agree the money. Because normally we are supposed to close this program at 5. But because we want to sign, so that we'll have that 1 hour period to sign. So don't rush it. And please, I want to beg us once again, make sure you write your account number and write your name very well. If you don't see your money tonight, you see it tomorrow morning. But please, write your account details. For those of us that are invited, you are entitled to 10,000 naira, you can send your money to you. And also for school staff, please sit down, fill your name. We get across.
Let's rise up for the college anthem close together. The top stanza of the national anthem we're going to read. We're not going to sing. So what we're going to sing the college anthem. We're going to read this. O God of all creation, grant these our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Amen. The pledge. We know it's often we can do that. This is a special program. I pledge to Nigeria